Hello there, welcome back to another All the Mods 9 Minecraft video. My name is JawshyGG, and today we are going to do some more stuff. I haven't really decided what we're going to do in this video. Specifically because I am still trying to get my bearings in terms of... Oh, that's this stuff. In terms of what capabilities we have right now. As mentioned, oh wow, I have a lot of uraninite. I did, off recording, finish up the fission reactor and the industrial turbine, so we do have the capability to have some power generated. And I have a quantum entangler porter here, which is set for energy. So this is actually about 100 or about 19.81 MFE, so about 19 million FE. This cannot generate, so this is the smallest version of the turbine that you can build, linked to the smallest version of the reactor that you can build. They're both basically 5x5, so this is a 5x5x5, this is a 5x5x7. So you'll see there are an additional two, but that's because you need more vents and you need the saturating condenser, whatever they're called, condensator, no, whatever. So we did finish that up, and we're going to utilize that in the future, but I want to make sure that we have enough resources to be able to maintain that. So obviously we're still utilizing these power sources as well as this reactor hardened here for our solution over there. But to be able to make the more intense stuff, specifically this stuff right here, we need to be able to get some HDPE pellets or HDPE sheets. So to make a plutonium pellet, you need fluorite dust with plutonium liquid. To make plutonium liquid, you need nuclear waste, which this one right here will be relatively simple to make. You just need to get the waste from the actual, instead of throwing the waste itself into a into one of these radioactive waste barrels, you actually push that to a isotopic, I think it's an isotopic if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, isotopic centrifuge, and that will make your plutonium liquid. For the others, though, we need polonium, but we also, to make polonium, we need a solar neutron activator. To make a solar neutron activator, you need an HDPE sheet. To make an HDPE sheet, you need HDPE pellets in an enrichment chamber, which is actually significantly cheaper than what it was in All the Mods 8, because you need, I think, 8 of them to make a singular HDPE sheet. But to make HDPE pellets, you have to use a pressurized reaction chamber with oxygen and liquid ethylene. To make liquid ethylene, you also need substrate, which is a completely separate thing, which is pretty simple to make, which we'll get into in the future. To make, sorry, give me 1 second. To make liquid ethylene, you need to basically do a concentrating with ethylene into liquid ethylene. And to make ethylene, you need to pressurize reaction chamber with hydrogen and water. So with biofuel, of course. So that's pretty simple. It's not too difficult to make that stuff, but then you have the other resources that are required for the solar, which are these bronze ingots, which are not terribly difficult to make with copper ingots, 10 ingots, and a fire charge, or 3 copper ingots and a 10 ingot makes 4 of those. And then, of course, you have your isotopic centrifuge, which requires just 6 lead ingots, 2 ultimate control circuits, and a basic chemical. So pretty simple. But what about making... Let's go ahead and actually do this real quick. Let's throw this bad boy in there so we can click straight into this. The HDPE sheet. So the enrichment chamber is pretty simple to make. The HDPE pellets with the pressurized reaction chamber is pretty simple to make. I mean, the pressurized reaction chamber is pretty simple to make. You just need very generic resources, of course. But the ethylene is going to be the fun part. So get to make ethylene. So we'll need to get a pressurized reaction chamber. So let's go ahead and grab one of those with water and hydrogen. Really the only thing that we have to do with this to make water and hydrogen is just get a electrolytic separator with water, and then basically push the hydrogen from the electrolytic separator into there, and then have pretty much have a sink. So similar to what we have over here For this sink right here going into two separate spots, we'll just have like a sink going into two separate spots. Pretty simple to make. It really won't be that bad in the long term, but it takes a little bit of time because, of course, to make substrate, you need to pressurize some biofuel down. To make biofuel, you need to crush some different types of material down. So that is going to be a little bit of a process, but I think that we can actually do that real quick. Let's actually go ahead and just set that up. Let's start that process. So first and foremost, our end goal here is going to be a solar neutron activator, which only works here in the sun. Then, of course, we are going to work towards getting the HDPE sheets, which is 3 HDPE pellets and an enrichment chamber. So let's go ahead and throw that right there. To make an HDPE pellet, you need a pressurized reaction chamber. So we can go ahead and throw that right there. And then we need oxygen and liquid ethylene. So liquid ethylene, of course, is through a condensator. Ethylene itself is in a pressurized reaction chamber, and then of course your biofuel is in a crusher. So those are pretty much the. Oh no, actually wait, is it only 4? Just make sure that we got that right. Wrong one. Actually, no, that was the right one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then of course your pressurized reaction chamber, which I think, yeah, the pressurized reaction chamber. So let's go ahead and do that. So I think we're going to need 2 pressurized reaction chambers. Yep. So 2 of those. Sweet. So there's only 6 items that we're going to need here. So we're going to need 2 pressurized reaction chambers, 1 crusher, 1 rotary condensator, 1 enrichment chamber, and 1 solar neutron activator. Now, you don't actually need anything with the, I'll put it this way, you don't actually need the reactor on for this process, because this just takes liquid ethylene and oxygen to make the HDPE pellets. So this can be a completely separate resource or completely separate section that we're going to make for this. But once we get into the plutonium one, we will absolutely need the reactor on to grab the nuclear waste to be able to make the plutonium, and that sends it through a isotopic centrifuge, which is again pretty simple to make. Let's go ahead and begin the making process for those, shall we? So we need 2 of these. So we're missing these. So 1, 2, which means we're missing these. 1, 2. Okay. Now we need 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we can make 2 of these. 1, 2, 2. Okay, so we're going to do that one right there and that one right there. So now we can get rid of that. So the crusher. Crusher's pretty simple. We just need a lava bucket, and we need to get another bucket of lava, and it's still casing. Still casing is pretty simple to make. So let's go ahead and grab a bucket. And then we will head down to our lava resource here real quick, and we will grab ourselves some lava. Boop. And then now we'll head back to our mining dimension base. Throw that right there. Now the crusher, we'll just plop this down right here. And now we got that. So we can get rid of that one. We need the rotary condensator, which means we need a basic fluid tank, which we got right there. We need a basic chemical tank, which we can make right there. And then now we can make, oh no, we need our energy tablet as well. Boom. Now we can make our rotary condensator. Boom. And then of course we need our enrichment chamber. So we'll grab that real quick. So we just need a steel casing. Boom. And now we're out of steel. Poses a little bit of a problem, but it should be fine. Boy, oh boy. So let's go ahead and set these down over here. Because I'd like to keep all of my, and by the way, my guy died. I'd like to keep all of this stuff kind of like close together. So in the order that we're going to need for our polonium, plutonium, is we're going to need the second pressurized reaction chamber will be the very last, because that is what, or the second to last, because, actually no, yeah, that'll be last. Cool. So wait, what do we need? Oh, that's for the HDPE pellets. We don't need that just yet. So the second pressurized reaction chamber will be right there. So that will be pressure. That's nuclear waste. I keep doing the wrong thing. Wait. What? Hold on a minute. Am I going? I'm going crazy, aren't I? I am going crazy. Okay, so I guess we do need nuclear. Yeah, we do need nuclear waste for that. I forgot about that. But we can set that up through a quantum entangler, which is actually, we might want to set that up over here and have our nuclear waste go into our quantum entangler. That's too many. It's too much piping. I don't know why I thought. I don't know where did that come from. Let's see here. I think we're doing plutonium right now, right? Yes. Oops. Oh my goodness gracious. No, we're doing polonium. Butchering this right now. All right, cool. So, cool. So we'll just start with this. We're doing HDPE sheets. This is the focus. So the solar neutron activator can actually be in a different spot. We need the HDPE sheets are what we're aiming for here. So this is actually the end goal, not this. This is not the end goal. The HDPE sheet's the end goal. This is where the enrichment chamber comes into play. So the enrichment chamber is going to be the last one. So the enrichment chamber is going to go, I'll put this one right here. So the enrichment chamber, oopsies, the enrichment chamber is going to take the pellets and turn them into sheets. To make pellets, we need a pressurized reaction chamber with oxygen and liquid ethylene. So that's going to be a pressurized reaction chamber with oxygen and liquid ethylene. Okay. To make liquid ethylene, we have to send ethylene, regular old ethylene, into a condensator, which is this one. Boom. Which actually, I think is going to be that way. Actually, I don't remember. I'll have to look. Let's take a gander, shall we? Yeah, so it'll be from left to right. Cool. So that will be no, that'll be rotary condensating. Okay, cool. Okay. So next to that one, we will need a pressurized reaction chamber, which is this one. What's the crusher for? Oh, the crusher is to crush the biofuel. That's right, biofuel. Cool. So this pressurized reaction chamber, what we're going to do here is, this part is where we will grab our biofuel with our water and hydrogen. So we could probably put an electrolytic separator right here with hydrogen pumping into our pressurized reaction chamber, and then have another pipe going over to the top here to push the water into it. And then from there, we put in our stuff in here. It crushes it down to biofuel. The biofuel goes into here, and this turns to substrate. The substrate goes into not here. I guess the substrate goes into that one. The rotary condensator actually is a secondary source, so I don't actually need that there, right? Yeah, so the condensator is what's going to take the ethylene and turn it into liquid ethylene. So, okay. Trying to get this to be as easy as possible. So this right here is going to turn our biofuel into substrate. And then our substrate is going to go into a pressurized reaction chamber, which is this one, and then it's going to go into an enrichment chamber. This one right here is going to need it's going to be this is the rotary condensator. We can put that right there, and that will push the, oh boy. It's going to be tough to do by itself. Maybe I can put that actually in the, it's going to have, well, I don't want that to be covered. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this, because this has to have water coming in as well as hydrogen, right? I think it's water and hydrogen. Or no, this is the, God, I'm losing my mind here. Wait a minute. Oh, this makes ethylene. Okay. Okay. So this makes ethylene. So we can put the rotary concentrator on top, because this will be pushing the substrate or the biofuel that it makes into here. This will have water and hydrogen in here, and it will have the substrate coming in here, and it will make, or biofuel coming into here, and it will make substrate with ethylene. The ethylene will go into here, and then the ethylene will turn into liquid ethylene, and then I can push the ethylene into here with, I think, what does the ethylene go with? Oxygen. Okay, so then I can take the other side of the liquid, the electrolytic separator, and push the oxygen into here with the substrate, and then that will turn it into HDPE pellets, which will then send them into an enrichment chamber, which then turns that into HDPE sheets. Got it. Okay. I need to get my eraser to erase that stuff. I need to move those candles too, because it's getting on my nerves. It's going to be in the way. I did not mean to do that. I should have stopped. My brain is lacking today. What if I just... Is it just going to get rid of the glyph? That takes so long, though. You know what? Okay. I need the eraser. I need the eraser. The brush. Let's go ahead and grab our brush. Or chalk eraser, chalk brush, whatever you want to call it, and we'll erase those real quick. How much faster that is? Okay, cool. All right, sweet. So let's just move that over here. Actually, I can just put that back in because I need to grab some universal cables anyway. I don't have enough. I only have 9, and I need... I'm going to need at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I have enough. Never mind. Plenty. Okay. So we'll do this. Actually, no, I won't have enough. I mean, I might. Seriously? Okay. So all I'll do is this right here, and then beautiful. That was just enough. Perfect. And these all should have energy now. Got it. Okay. So now I need some pipes. I need to create another electrolytic separator, which I don't have the steel to make right now. So let's go ahead and grab that right there. I don't actually need steel. I need iron dust, though. Let's make a stack of those. Let's take a gander. Osmium dust. Surprisingly, you don't actually need... That's cool. Okay. So I will actually need some more universal cables. Because the electrolytic separator... right here. Okay. So what I'll do is pipe the water into here. And I think this pressurized reaction chamber, if I'm not mistaken, second one. So the one to get from the biofuel. So the biofuel is made by a crusher. The crusher, not the crusher. I need the biofuel. The pressurized reaction chamber needs water and hydrogen, which is this one right here. So this will have that, and this right here. Oops. And then, of course, what I'll do is I will do that. That looks very ugly, I know. I'm sorry, this is the best I can do. And And then that will push, push, pull, and that will just push water into there. So this one, so I don't know which one of these will push. That's the concern I have here. Which one of these is what is going to be the... let's see. This is... I need another electrolytic separator. Where are you at? Right here. So hydrogen will be on the left. Oxygen will be on the right. So output 1 will be a gas. The front will be output 1. This will be input. Oh, it's not going to input anything. That's right. I'm not going to do anything on the top. And I'll just have this one turned off for the time being because I will need to put another couple pipes over here for oxygen. Fluids, I'm going to have input basically just from the left. For some odd reason, it is not liking that, even though I have that set as output from the front. Gases, I have output right there. I don't know why you're not wanting to work that way. Interesting. Oh, maybe because this right here is trying to output through the back. So the gases will... Oh, no, it's saying input. Huh. I don't know why it did that when I said fluids turned off, because these won't be fluids. These will be hydrogen and oxygen are gases, which are right here. And I have... let's see. Fluids, input. It's going to be none. Gases, output. Maybe it's because there's nothing in there right now. I don't know. Let me go make some more universal cables real quick. Oh, I need to... I don't have any more steel. That's right. Do I have any more iron? I got some more of that. That's good. So I guess we'll grab some iron ingots. Grab a stack of 64 of them. Plop these guys in here. That will turn them into enriched iron, and then I'll just throw them back through again to turn them into steel dust. And then I'll have to throw them in here. And then for the time being, I can go ahead and just grab a stack of 64 of you, do this, do that, and then do hammer, you, coal. Hate that this is such a process. And then do that. Wait, how much iron dust do I have? What? Oh, there we go. Okay. Almost 2 stacks. Very nice. Okay, cool. So we'll go ahead and make that real quick. And we'll do that, and then we'll do universal. Make 8 of those. I don't have any more infused alloy? No. That's interesting. Well, that's awkward. But I still had some. Guess not. All right. So we'll wait a second for that. We'll grab these. That. Cool. Mechanism, of course, we'll have this right here. Of course, we didn't get any I wanted there, but whatever. It's fine. I didn't want them anyway. Cool. Okay. So this is pretty much the norm, honestly. All right. So then we'll do universal again. And then we'll now make these We can make these. Can we make these? We can. Very nice. Okay. We will have to make some more ultimate mechanical ones here soon too. Okay. So what I'll do here is now I will, because I want to try to hide all the cables as well as I can, because I don't want to deal with the cables being. I know that I have a bunch of these showing, but that's okay. All right, so let's do this. Oops, not that. This. Now that should begin making our hydrogen and oxygen, and then it should be pushing our water into here, which means now we can come back into our gases maybe and do output right there. Let's get rid of this, and then we will try reconnecting those. It's not working. Okay. Well, that's because this is a pipe and not a tube. I'm an idiot. Fun times. Okay. So now I need the tubes, because the tubes are what connects the gases, my friends. Let's make sure this is the front side is pushing output 1, which is again our hydrogen. Push. And then now this is raising up with hydrogen. Now right here is where I need to verify, but I'm pretty sure it's the liquid ethylene and oxygen. And then now on the right side right here, I'm going to set this to gases to output 2. So that should begin flowing up right there. So now when I do this right here, it shouldn't connect. That's not the right one. It shouldn't connect these two together. It does. Okay. That's not what I wanted to happen. Dang it. Okay. God, come on, man. I hate that it does this. Like, I guess the best way to do it is just to do this right here and then do that. And then let this empty in and then grab a gauge and then connect the other two together. It's kind of frustrating at times, but it is what it is. Like, I wish you could set it to go to whichever one you want it to go to. Hydrogen, that is hydrogen. Beautiful. See, I already knew I already knew I was going to need this. Need to do this anyway. Whatever. Okay. So now we'll do this, and now we can get rid of these two. And then this should be pushing oxygen into this one. Beautiful it is. And then that should build up on that. This should build up on that. And then now, let's do that. Throw those in there. Now what we need is the ethylene in here. To make ethylene, that's the next question. Ethylene comes from concentrating or pressurized. Ethylene comes from this bad boy right here. So, gases, I'm pretty sure ethylene is a gas because I need to turn the gas into a solid. So if we do gases, we're going to output the gas to the front. We're going to do nothing to the right on this one. However, the items we will output to the right. So now what we'll need is the liquid, which is a pipe, to connect right there to right there. And then we'll do this and this. And then now, if I come over here to our storage, do what's a I'm trying to think of what I could use to make some ethylene real quick. Just test. Let's make some substrate. Biofuel. What's some good ones for biofuel? Dandelions. Let's go ahead and grab some dandelions. No, we don't have that many, but I don't care. This makes 5 biofuel, so let's give it a check. Let's give it a test just to see. I want to see how this works. Now, this is not the prettiest design by any means. I'm going to have to adjust this as we go forward, but you can see we're pretty much almost full with hydrogen. Oxygen should be about halfway, yeah. So this is making some biofuel now, and what we'll do is we'll do item config, output to the right, auto config on. This will then turn that biofuel into substrate, creating the ethylene, and the ethylene will then go into our rotary condensator, turn the ethylene into liquid ethylene, which is then submitted to our pressurized reaction chamber. And then what we'll do here is we'll go back and do auto eject with our items here. And then now that turns our substrate into HDPE pellets. And we'll do auto config here. And then that sends our enriched or HDPE pellets into an enrichment chamber. Once it hits 3, it will then crush those down into a sheet, which then in turn allows us the opportunity to be able to make more in-game stuff. Like really, it's pretty convenient. So I don't actually need that for that. So let's go ahead and just let that do its thing. But that's pretty much the gist of it. That's how this is going to work for the time being. Obviously, that's going to pull a decent amount of power. As you can tell, it's completely empty. But I think it'll be okay. I think we're doing good so far. That's a huge step in the right direction. We can go ahead and put these away. And now we should be able to make our isotope. Let's go ahead and just grab it from in here because I don't trust myself. Isotopic centrifuge, which requires ultimate, which requires these, which requires these, which of course I don't have any more of those. So we'll grab some of them right there. Grab these and we can throw those in there. Yeah, we'll keep it right there. Okay, cool. I think we have enough of that. Beautiful. So we do this, create one of those. I need actually 2 of those, or 1 more at least. 1 more of these. 1 more of these. And now I can create 2 of these. And then 1 of these. And then 1 of these. Which this right here, the isotopic centrifuge, does not actually need to be over here with this stuff. The only reason I needed to make all this stuff was to make the HDPE. The HDPE is actually pretty good, pretty useful in-game stuff, which I'm actually surprised because in all the mods, oh wait, no, it's right here. Yeah, so I need to grab some of that biofuel. How many do I need? 2. Of course I need 2. Or a potato. We'll just throw a potato in there. Let that crush down to biofuel. I just need 1 more. Then now I need the substrate, which means as soon as this comes out. Cool, got it. How much substrate do I need? 3. Got it, okay. And then I need the HDPE pellet, which is this. Which, yeah, cool. Wait, I need more than that. How many do I need? Oh, we're good. Okay, we're good. Cool. So that's pretty much the gist of that. That's how you go through the whole biofuel state. I mean, it's pretty simple. But what we can do with the isotopic centrifuge, and of course that's just that aspect. The isotopic centrifuge and the other one, which I think is the solar neutron activator. I think the solar neutron activator requires that as well. I don't know. I didn't actually need that to make the isotopic centrifuge. What am I talking about? Why'd you guys let me do that? I needed that for the solar neutron. Let's make one of these real quick. And then we'll make some of these. 1, 2, 3. Okay, gotcha. And then we should be able to make 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think we actually needed 4 of those, but whatever. Okay. So the solar neutron activator is actually what we really need, but both of these can be set up down here in our fission reactor, and they can be connected right here to our straight to our pressurized tubes here when we have the reactor turned on. When it's pushing power, it's creating nuclear waste. When the nuclear waste is basically generated right here, we can send those to the solar neutron activator, which there's a couple different ways we can do this. We can set up a quantum entangloporter to pick up the nuclear waste, which I do not suggest, or we can basically just set up the solar neutron activator and the isotopic centrifuge down here, set them to basically only push to one at a time. So at first we would just go for the route of making the polonium pellet, because that is what we need for the fusion reactor, or the actual fusion reactor, which is one that we're probably not going to touch much while we're here. But both of these are going to be required for the supercritical phase shifter, which we need for the antimatter pellets. So we pretty much did a significant amount right here already, very early on. I mean, we're very early into our series here. Again, I think we're only at episode, I think the last episode I released was 33, which we just beat the Ender Dragon. Hopefully you guys saw that one. That was a lot of fun. I actually really enjoyed that one. And I did fly around a little bit more looking for unobtainium. And I think I found a couple. I have 27 right now. So that's another thing that we'll have to do, is go to down to the libraries and the other to find the unobtainium smithing template, which we're not going to do in this video because I don't have the patience for that right now. But for the most part, I think we're pretty much good on that aspect. I'll have to figure out the best solution for building up the SPS, because the SPS, I mean, the super critical phase. Yep, that's going to be one of the ones that really takes a toll on resources, because we're going to need a lot of resources for that. But I don't think it'll be that difficult to make in the long run, because I mean we've come this far. In all honesty, we've already come this far. We've done quite a bit in a very short time period, and I think I can go to the fact, or I can say that having the brain power is not here. Having done all the mods 8 and having completed the ATM star on all the mods 8, I feel like it's really helped. But I also wanted to show you guys this real quick. So, as you guys are aware, we were building up right here in our workbench plus our chunk destroyer. Well, we finalized it, and I built up the chunk destroyer. I'm not going to I don't know. How did you get out? So you want to go that way. And this was the goal here, was I was going to do a test little section here. I don't like how this is like this, because I don't want half of this to end up being, I don't know why I don't think it'll hit this, but the chunk destroyer is so much better than the, is there another one over here? There is. How did you guys get out? Oops. I didn't say anything. We do have the chunk destroyer, but the chunk destroyer is also going to take a vengeful spirit. Chunk destroyer is going to take a lot of power, a lot of energy. So that's going to be something that we will have to kind of work with once we have our our reactor and I have that set up kind of how I want it. I'm going to be completely honest with you here. I don't want to run it that much right now with how little power we have, with those little resources we have, and I don't want to run it with as small as it is. I have a goal, or I have a thought that maybe I could set up the cabling down there, like all these pipes that I have, or tubes that I have, connecting the stuff here. I had a thought maybe I could set it up to basically run a bunch so I can fill up the pipes, or the tubes, I mean. and just so you can see that it works, I mean, I can turn it on right here. If fissile fuel doesn't go down, coolant doesn't go down. I have 2 sinks here as well as another sink from the up there running. It is very loud, as you can tell. And just that little bit, again, we had what, 18, we're up to 21. So I mean, it does work. It does work, and that's helpful. But this is not gonna this size is not gonna produce the power that I need. So we have a couple options. Option 1, I break this down. I mean, that created 101 MB or over 100 MB of waste. I break this down and I expand out. I basically could potentially run the chunk destroyer in this little section right here, break down a couple more of these chunks over here with the little bit of power that I have in this base. 2, I set up a completely separate reactor specific for the chunk destroyer over there. Set that to break apart that little section right there, kind of in the background right there. Expand out a couple more chunks that way, which I think would be probably more beneficial. I just have to keep it away from these 2 chunks right here. I would expand it out maybe 3 or 4 more chunks, and maybe expand out 1 chunk probably that way. Do that. And I'm going to let you guys kind of decide which route I take. If I should just utilize the little bit of power that is creating down there to expand that out so I can expand out my reactor, or should I create a whole nother power reactor to do such a thing? Another thing that we're going to be doing here soon is this. We're going to be going out and trying to find some stuff for the lily pads of fertility so I can expand and basically build out more of these farms. The goal is here, I'm going to move this stuff. I'm likely going to move the animal bin. I don't really need them right there. 17 eggs, goodness gracious. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm hurting you guys. Stop walking in front of me throwing the eggs. You guys should clearly see where I'm throwing the eggs. Anyway, and expand out the farm kind of this way and maybe go around, because I still have a grand old idea. And I'm thinking I might want to use this right here, the schematic stuff, because I really want to try this out. Create the house, like create the base in creative, load it to a schematic, and then let the cannon do its thing. I don't actually remember. It's really not that resource heavy. It requires 2 blocks of iron, some wood, some smooth stone, and a dispenser. The schematic table requires some slabs, some smooth stone, and these empty schematics themselves just require paper and dye, as well as the schematic and quill. So I think we can do that. And just so everybody's aware, if you don't know what that is, it utilizes resources that you have on this base. So basically, I have to have all the resources available to be able to build it here. I have to know exactly how much resources I use. I have to basically have all of the resources. If I don't, then it's basically going to be, kaput, pretty much. It's not going to work. Once I build up the base, or once I build up actually what I want, it should just build it itself. It'll take a while, but it should just build it itself, especially if I have it chunk loaded. But I'll let you guys decide, should I set up the chunk destroyer back there over by my fission reactor, expand out the chunks with the little bit of power that I have right here? Should I create another power, or a little bit of power that I actually have down there and right here? Maybe. Should I create another power reactor, set it up over there, and let that actually power up the reactor or the chunk destroyer by itself, and only worry about that to let it run for a bit, so I can, kind of expand a little bit, and it'll also help me get some resources, allthemodium, uraninite, and a variety of other resources as well. So yeah, we've got some HDPE pellets. We built up our beautiful, I built up off recording our beautiful turbine, and now the only other thing to do here is to, go about our business. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's up to you guys. Whatever you guys think we should do. In the next video, we're going to be basically whatever you guys, kind of decide upon. I'm going to go ahead and start. I do need to make sure I do. Okay. I do need to make sure that I am utilizing as much of this as I can, getting as much power as I can, as quickly as I can, because we're still decent ways away. From even beginning the ATM star. I haven't really touched anything in the other dimensions, or should I say on the other dimensions, which we will. Don't worry. I actually have to go a little bit further in Ad Astra this time, creating the jet suit. So that should be fun. But I think that's going to do this video. So we created up the stuff for the HDPE palette so we can create the solar neutron, Jimmy Neutron activator thingy. Next video, we're going to focus on the chunk destroyer, expanding out that as we can, and then we'll kind of go from there however we can, and hopefully we can begin the process of expanding out our reactor and turbine. And when I rebuild this turbine, I will rebuild it on recording so that I can actually show the best case, like the best of what to use. I do have a guide that I'll be following. Particularly to know how much of what I need, because, oh boy, when I tell you we're going to need a lot of resources, we're going to need a lot of resources. So with that being said, thank you guys so very much for watching. My name is JawshyGG. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Join our Discord in the link down in the description. There's a Discord link. You should definitely be a part of it. It's a really great community. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.